I remember, I think I was 8 or 9, and I asked my father a question, and he smiled because my question required him to explain pi to me. And just that excitement about that, and then going through the process of learning some new formula that explains the real world. I think that was when I started realizing that engineering is cool because I saw math make something I wanted to do possible. Hi, I'm Bob Mimlitch, co founder of Vex Robotics and the Chief Technology Officer. I think I knew even before I got into high school that I wanted to be an engineer and that I wanted to go to college to be an engineer. So I studied math. I was mediocre at it, but I always knew I was going to go to college. And college was tough. In college, I don't think I learned how to be an engineer. I think I learned how to learn. I learned what I didn't know and how to identify that and then go figure out what I don't know. Memorizing formulas, taking tests, the kinds of things you think about in college, that's not really being an engineer. An engineer is figuring out what is that design process and how does it work for you? How do you come up with an idea and then test it out and then throw it out or make it better? It's that whole process that's really more about being an engineer than just the word and the school and the degree. I'm actually trained as a mechanical engineer, but I probably haven't done that in 5 years as a real profession. Nowadays, I do what you call system engineering, where you look at all the pieces of a product, everything from how the customer interacts with it to how it's manufactured to how it's built. The entire process across electrical and software and mechanical has to be integrated together, and that usually happens at the beginning of a product, not at the end. You kind of come up with a concept and get it going. That's a lot like what VEX students do. You're system engineering an entire robot, not just one piece, at least at the beginning. Eventually, you have to get down to the details, but at the beginning, you're working on a system. To be able to use my engineering degree to help make more engineers and make better engineers, I think is the most exciting part about working at VEX Robotics. We see the difference. We see the excitement of students. We see them asking to learn. Nobody has to force a VEX student to learn something. They want to know more. People quite often guess that I'm an engineer. I think I have that kind of attitude about life. I question everything. I take every statement somebody says and question whether that's right or not. Question whether what I thought was right or not. Definitely in engineering, but I think in life, you have to always question your beliefs. And just because you thought something was the best way to do it or a good way to do it even isn't always the case. I'm still learning after 30 years of engineering that some of the things I thought were the right way to do things aren't the best way, and there's better ways to do it. The question about engineering terms is interesting because the one that always comes to mind is the engineering process. We talk about units and we talk about math that goes into that, but really the engineering process of ideas, testing out your theory, making sure it works, and then looping that back and trying again to make it better. I can guarantee that your first idea of how to do something is not the best. Sometimes when you're designing things, you have the opportunity to take risk. And when you take risks, you have an opportunity to go far beyond what you thought was possible. You're going to throw away a lot of them. Fail fast is one of the terms that we say a lot. And risk causes you to fail, but that's okay because somewhere in that process you might find a far better solution than you ever would have imagined. If you want to start a career in engineering, people always tell you, well, you need to be good at math. No, you don't necessarily need to be good at math. There's a lot of types of engineers. Math helps, that's for sure. Surprisingly, some of the great engineers I know have better people skills than math skills. They're better able to communicate and talk about what they're either trying to do or what they're trying to solve. And math has its place down in the nitty-gritty mess of engineering, but ideas and thoughts and people have just as much to do with engineering. The workforce of the future is definitely always going to have engineers in it. Engineers are the people that make the world we live in better. They solve the problems that will help the planet in the future. They solve the problems that will help medical and health care and make people's quality of life better. It affects everything you do today, from the toothbrush you pick up in the morning and the vehicle that gets you to school to how you learn during the day and what you're playing with at night. I'm Bob Mimlitch, and I'm happy to celebrate Engineers Week with you.